being raised in the environment that you have, how has that, if at all, impacted your how you view men and chose men?
I was lucky enough to have both parents in the
Mm-hmm.
home, but their relationship was not perfect by
Right.
far. And there was a lot of love in our home, but there was also a lot of toxicity.
Yeah. Dysfunction.
Yeah, a lot of dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that played a major part in some of my love life choices.
So
The
when did
choices
you
in my love life.
realize that that was influencing some of your behavior?
Maybe up until about 10 years ago,
Okay.
10, 15 years
Do you know what
ago.
the switch was? Like, oh, damn.
I started doing some shadow work.
Okay.
Um, I just felt this nudge to read a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
and really dive deep into uh, who I am.
Yeah.
And why I made the choices that I did, and why I've experienced some of the things I've experienced. And it started with shadow work. Just
Okay. Okay.
tapping into, not tapping into, but exploring the sides of myself that I try to keep hidden from other people, because I
Yeah.
think that we're ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
especially around the people that we love and we trust. But I still think that there's parts of ourselves that we keep hidden,
Yeah.
no matter how comfortable we
Yeah.
are with someone. And so I really wanted to dig deep into that side. And while doing that, I started to uncover why I made some of the choices that I made in my life, especially as it relates to men. And it always went back to my childhood.
Yeah. Most
It
things
just
do.
naturally
Yeah.
brought me back there.
Yeah.
So I always tell people that it started literally with doing the shadow work.
Okay. Okay. And so those that don't know what is shadow work.
Shadow work is where you sit with yourself
Mm-hmm.
and you really take accountability. And you say to yourself, what are the parts of myself that I know are there,
Mm-hmm.
but I choose not to show it or talk about it? What are the things that I've experienced that I keep repressed,
Mm-hmm.
or I know hurts me, but I don't want to talk about it, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to share it, or I don't want to acknowledge it?
Yeah.
When you start digging into those things, that's the shadow work.
Yeah. Yeah. And it can be life changing. It can be emotional. Because I remember when I was doing some shadow work in regarding to how my relationship with my father.
Mm-hmm.
I, because it was, I remember reading this book called Toxic Parenting,
Mm-hmm.
and it described like certain types of parenting titles for each different type of parent. Like there was a tyrant, there was this type of parent, and so I equated my father as a tyrant because he would come in, bark orders, be disciplined, not show affection.
Yeah.
At least to boys, and diving into that and actually literally sitting with it. And one of the things says, okay, well, what you can do, because I realized that I was it was seeking attention. So I would always tell my father, oh, guess what I'm doing? I'm doing this. Oh, look at what my job is doing.
Right.
Oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get those words of affirmation as a kid. So as an adult, was still seeking it.
Right.
And it really wasn't until I turned 40 that I was like, yeah, why am I still doing this? And I'm like, I'm kind of done. And I reading that book, and it said write a letter to the parent that you feel this about, and either mail it, read it, and then burn it. I said, okay, I don't want to do that. Then it said one of the options was take a pillow, put it in a chair, visualize this pillow being that parent, and tell this parent everything that they did and how what they did could have impacted your life. Baby, I was screaming at that pillow.
Really?
My neighbors was knocking at the door because I was screaming. When I tell you that was so therapeutic, because I literally got it all out. I mean, I went all in.
Good.
And it really felt good
Yeah.
to get it off.
Yeah.
And now when I talk to my father, it's not, hey, this is what I'm doing. It's like, hey, how are you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. I don't, you know, I don't have to do things, you know, about that. So that was one of my most defining points in my life, was that, was working through that. So now
I feel like the shadow work is just the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning stages of
but
it.
It's also good when you actually realize that, though, right? In the beginning, you're like, damn. Because a lot of us don't want to face our issues or feel that we, you know, we play victim with a lot of shit. Like things are being done to us. No, you had some dealings. You know, you was a participant.
Yeah.
You know, so own up to it.
Yeah, the first step is acknowledging it.
Yeah,
and that's very difficult for some people.
So
but if you get to that place, that's great.
It is. So your last relationship, and I'm going to go off of how you feel. How do you feel? What made you get in it in the beginning? And when did you start finding out, oh, this is some toxic, dysfunctional shit that I need to get out of? So one, what made you get into it? And two, when did you realize, yeah, I'm done with this. I can't do this no more.
Yeah. Well, of course, there was a physical attraction initially. I thought he was handsome. That was just the first part of it. But when we started dating, there were little things that came up with him that was going on in his life. And I just felt this need. I felt like I had to be there for him.
So like have to save a hoe?
Kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
I felt like I had to be there for him, even though I didn't really know him. And I think, again, goes back to my childhood, watching my mom put up with certain things or do certain things when she really didn't have to. I felt like I had to, I just felt like I had to be there for him.
No matter
when
what.
I really didn't. And go.
So what made you get to that point? When was the defining point when you realized, okay, this is some dysfunctional shit. I don't want to do this anymore because this is not me.
Once I started to realize how unhappy I felt, how I just didn't feel good when I was around them. I noticed that the relationship wasn't bringing out the best, and not only myself, but him too.
Yeah.
And I just felt this sadness and loneliness inside.
Okay.
And I just was not happy. And I know they always say relationships shouldn't make you happy. You create your own happiness. Yes, that's true, but it should also contribute to your happiness in some way.
Add to.
And I just didn't feel that. I didn't feel respected. And that made me feel sad. It made me feel, it just made it feel wrong. It just felt wrong.
So the verbal abuse, when did you start saying, yeah, this is all wrong? Or when did you, not when did you, how did you get to that point of saying, yes, I'm done with this verbal abuse? Because sometimes verbal abuse, and I haven't been in that situation, but reading and seeing shit, it's like, damn, verbal abuse can really break a woman down or a person down.
Yeah.
You know, emotionally, spiritually, it can really defeat you.
Yeah.
So was there a point where you was defeated?
I wouldn't say there was a point where I was defeated. I would say that I came to a point where I felt empowered to really make the decision to end things and walk away, because I'm not a pushover. You know me, I'm tough, and I can talk back and I can say things back. But if you continue to stay in the relationship, what does that mean? It means nothing, right? It's like staying. you know your husband or boyfriend or whoever's cheating, but you choose to stay.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, this man is disrespecting me. I disrespect him back, but I'm still here. It's just going to continue.
And that's actually one of the things that I hear too with people in relationships, in particular with women when they're in abusive relationship, physical abusive.
Mm-hmm.
He hit me, but I got his ass back.
Right.
Oh, but it's like, well, damn, why? Yeah. Why didn't you just go? Why you and and it's like, wow, so you actually enjoy the dysfunction.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, if you don't enjoy it, then you'll get out, in my mind.
Yeah.
And I guess that's, I could say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that where you felt like, okay, this is not me no more. Kinda is not that it was enjoyable in the beginning, because you knew what you knew at that time. You know that was what it was supposed to be. But when it got to the point of just saying, okay, I'm done. I am done. One, how did your friends react to that? And two, how did he react to that?
Well, first of all, I think that it had to do with self-love.
Yeah.
And doing the shadow work and getting to know myself a little bit better, and going back to some of the things that I experienced in childhood, and really analyzing some of the choices that I made in love, helped me to truly love myself. I thought that I was loving myself. I was not. I wasn't valuing and loving myself in a way that would not allow me to even put up with that stuff in the first place. And so it was the love that I had for myself that gave me the strength.
So how did you get the love for yourself? The shadow work?
Doing the inner work.
Doing the inner work, and then realizing that I deserve more.
Doing the inner work. And not only that, but this is weird, but doing the work, but also when you start doing the work, the universe and people interact with you differently. So when I started to do that inner work,
yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah,
it changed the way people perceived me. It changed the way people treated me. So, if I could explain this, doing the inner work allowed me to see myself the way others saw me. And sometimes we don't really see ourselves the way other people see ourselves. Like I told you earlier, some people have said to me, "Oh, I've never pictured you with someone like him," right? And that's because sometimes people have higher standards for us than we have for ourselves. Right?
Yeah.
And so doing that work and healing allowed me to see myself the way that I should have been seeing myself. And it gave me the strength.
And even when you started doing the work and people reacting to you differently, because I remember that you were saying that there was some family member saying, "You changed."
Yeah. Yeah, a few people told me that. I was meaner. I was told that I was meaner. And I also was told that I was tougher.
Yeah.
And it made me think well, damn, I thought
I was always tough.
Yeah. But I also felt good. Yeah, I am tougher. I was, though.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was tougher. And I think that the mean part was because I put up stronger boundaries with not just men, with everyone, friends,
boundaries are definitely
family.
Important. Yeah.
And so when you put up boundaries, when you set those boundaries, it does make you appear mean.
And you know what though? To me it doesn't. When we set boundaries, what it is, I'm not giving you the green light, I guess, to treat me any type of way now.
And so I'm viewed as mean. I'm the mean person.
But see, that's them saying that, right? Because now I just can't come into your life and run amok.
Right.
You know,
right.
I can't cross this line.
Yeah.
And that's what boundaries, and that's what I tell people now, even me setting boundaries with people. Because there was this one person asking me, what did he say about calling me at a certain time at night? I'm asleep, you know. Or one of the big ones was him saying that what did he say? It was something about the way that I treat him as far as what was the word he used? It was when he asked for certain things, I was dismissive.
Okay.
And I said, well, no, I'm not dismissive. I just said that the questions that you ask are a little inappropriate. And when you ask these questions, I'm not answering them. I'm good. Don't go here.
Yeah.
You know, just don't do it.
Yeah.
And they kept doing it. And that's the thing with boundaries, because it's literally telling someone, you're not coming into my life to run amok.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then when people can't treat you how they want to treat you because of an issue.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I don't like about that whole golden rule shit. You know, it's like, no, don't treat me how you want to be treated. Treat me how I tell you. You know, because maybe you want to get treated like shit and I don't.
Right.
You know. So now, going back to your relationship, your past relationship, did you ever have a conversation to your mom about how some of that has impacted you?
Yes.
How did that discussion go? Or how did it end or go or what?
Initially, I was met with a little bit of resistance. And I didn't take offense. I just felt like my mom wasn't ready.
Right.
She wasn't ready to have those conversations. And interestingly enough, it wasn't until my father passed away that we were able to have those conversations candidly and transparently and so beautifully.
Okay.
And I love my father, but I do believe that his passing allowed my mom to reflect in a way where she too started to do a little bit of her own shadow work. And she started to really see certain things for what it was. And she was able to have those conversations with me. So initially, I was met with resistance. But after a while, she was on my side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I mean, we've had some really deep conversations.
Okay.
About her upbringing.
Yeah.
Even me teaching her things, like me teaching my mom things about childhood trauma and the choices we make in love, and even me, you know, being open with her about how I feel that some of the choices I made was a direct reflection of what I saw growing up.
Yeah, because that was your normal.
She was open to receiving that, and she received it with open arms, and she didn't judge me. And we were able to have those conversations, and she 100% supports my decision.
Whoa. How did that make you feel?
Amazing.
Wow. That.
Yeah. And so I'm so thankful for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But initially it wasn't, you know,
yeah.
It was try to make it work, and, you know, you'll figure it out, and kind of pushing it to the side. But she knew that there was dysfunction.
Yeah.
But there was still this side of her that kind of wanted me to try to make it work. But yeah,
I wonder if that's old school thinking.
It is, for sure. Yeah, it is. It is. But not just old school thinking, but insecurities. And
actually, that's interesting, because being in the generation that your mom is, at that time, women had to learn to live behind their husband. You know, they couldn't be at the forefront. They couldn't be where they are in today's society. You know, because I even remember my mother playing the back role a lot of times. You know, coming home, she's cooking everything, she's doing everything. Dad is doing this, so in that generation, which is the baby boomer generation, certain things was expected of a woman.
Yeah.
And they played into that.
Yeah.
That was their reality.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like, I get it. So now, what was your partner's reaction? When you realize, okay, I'm not. First, let me ask you this. What were some of the signs as you see now, like, damn, these were the early on signs that I should have saw or that I ignored?
Oh my gosh. There were so many.
Give me your top 3.
Their relationship with their mother and father. Just the way they spoke to them. The way they interacted with women and other people. Their relationship with their family.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof. And there was this moment. I don't know if I want to share it. It's kind of, I won't share it. It's personal for the other person.
Okay.
But those are some of my top 2.
Okay.
Some of my top 2.
Okay. So now, what was his reaction when you finally pulled the trigger, or what was the reaction in that process when this person started to see you pull away? What was are there things that he was doing what was his reaction? Was he trying to get you back, fighting hard? What was his reaction to that when he first saw you trying to pull away?
Shock.
Okay.
Anger.
Give an example.
I'll start with the shock. He couldn't understand why I was making the decision that I was making. In his mind, everything was okay, or it wasn't that bad. He used that term a lot. It wasn't that bad. And so his reality was completely different from my reality. His perspective about the relationship was completely different from mine. And it became daunting trying to constantly get him to understand my perspective. I had to just respect the fact that his perspective, his experience in the relationship was completely different from mine. And I had to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And trying to explain that to him was really difficult.
Okay.
And it was something that I felt like he had to kind of get on his own. So when I say shock, he just couldn't believe that I was actually doing it. And then the anger came in. And the anger set in once I really set firm boundaries. So it starts with we're no longer sleeping in the same space, or we're no longer intimate. We're no longer going out on dates. We need space.
Okay.
I think we should live in separate homes. And that's when the anger set in, because that's when it became real for him.
Oh, that's when the reality set in, like, damn, this shit is almost over.
And that's when the anger set in. So there was shock, there was anger, fear, jealousy. I mean, so many different emotions.
Yeah.
But lots of anger. And just confusion, like just not understanding how I could do something like this to him.
Whoa.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah, because you're not. And so that's actually one of the things that, for me, is when you can't take accountability, it is like, I dealing with somebody that can't take about accountability is difficult for me. Because you're just not going to not realize, play your own, to own up to your own shit is just, I can't. I don't. That's one of the things that I will walk out the door real fast, is when you can't take accountability. So what would you say to another female
Mm-hmm.
that has been in a similar situation,
Mm-hmm.
wherever the abuse is verbal or whatnot, or any of that physical, what would you say the first step would be in regaining your power?
That's such an
Did you do
important question.
affirmations?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it was journaling.
Okay.
That was really, really therapeutic for me. Getting things down on paper. And I'll go back to your question, but one of the things I love about journaling is that there were times when I questioned my decision to end the relationship. But by going back to my journal and reading the things that I wrote a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and seeing that it was real, I was
Mm-hmm.
experiencing
Mm-hmm.
shit.
Yeah.
And it just confirmed my
Right.
decision. And that's what I really love about journaling. You can go back and kind of check in with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like shared it with him. Like, look, like these things were really happening.
Yeah.
I journaled about it. I wrote
Right.
about
Yeah.
it.
I see it. This is, yeah. I have footage.
Yeah.
I mean, I footage. I have documentation.
This
Yeah.
this this was this was a real thing. This is not something that just I woke up
Yeah.
one morning and was like, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
this was a slow burn.
Yeah.
And so back to your question, can you repeat it again? What would I
Affirmations.
no, before that you said something
Oh,
about my
about what would you give
advice.
advice to a female going in that same situation on how to start regaining their self love, on how to start getting their power back? Journaling.
Journaling, finding healthy outlets,
Okay.
whether that be through a really solid support system,
Mm-hmm.
friends who support your decision and love you and care about you, family.
Mm-hmm.
I think that having those support, that network really helped me. Um, and just finding healthy hobbies, whether it be working out, whether it be um
So let me ask you this. So was there any of your friends that were going through a similar situation?
um with as me.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
could think of.
So did you share with what you were going through?
Yes.
And so what was the reaction to that person and to your other friends that you may have shared that with?
um it's interesting because I felt like when I was getting to that point where I was like, I have to end this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I shared it
Okay.
that much. Yeah, I shared like little things we went through,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't share the fact that I was going to
Yeah.
end it and walk away. I didn't. It wasn't until I was like knee deep into the breakup that I
Okay.
started to share like this is over. This is it. And I don't think they believed me at first. They may not have said that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think they believed me because I remember one of my friends said one time to me, "You're really doing this? Like,
Yeah.
you're really serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." So,
Oh.
they supported me.
Okay.
They supported me. There were times when a few of them advocated for me
Mm-hmm.
to try to make things work.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect that. I
Mm-hmm.
get it. There's children involved.
Yeah.
And not only that, but when you're with someone for so long, sometimes they become your friends, right? You
Yeah.
become
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
become
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
close.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there was a point when they did advocate for me to try to fight for it. But I think after a while they were like,
Yeah.
she's serious about this and I'm gonna support her. But I also feel like by doing what I did, it empowered some of my friends to
Mm.
love themselves a
Yeah.
little bit more,
Yeah. And actually,
value themselves a little bit more.
that having self worth and self value, because I know I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until, of course, affirmations, because that was one of my affirmations. I am loved, I know I am loved. So, do you think that your affirmations helped you as well, in addition to?
I think affirmations are great, but I can't say that was a huge thing for me.
Okay.
Um, I do use words of affirmation quite often, mostly in my writing and my journaling. But it wasn't so much of writing it down or saying it, which is part of manifesting. I had to truly believe it.
And yeah, that's one thing from saying it versus believing it.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
So what, now where you are in your life, what did you learn from that experience that you'll take with you?
Take your time. Don't rush things. Listen to your intuition. It will never steer you wrong.
Your higher self,
pay attention to red flags and take them for what they are. And when people show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
Believe them. And I also I think another thing that I did, which is not right, is I kind of look at people's potential, a man's potential, as opposed to what he's showing me in the moment.
Okay, explain.
For example, I meet a guy and he says, I'm going through some things right now. I'm not really where I want to be in life. But I'm going to get there. And 2 years pass and he doesn't get there. Or 3 years pass and he doesn't get there. And I'm not saying you shouldn't support someone who's working on themselves. No, I don't believe that. I'm just trying to find the right example. But okay, I'll use my experience, my past relationship. Him showing me that he doesn't respect me in the way that he talks to me or speaks to me, and then saying, "Oh, I was just angry," or I was just never taught that, or it won't happen again. Like it'll be different. No, it won't be different. Like this is who this person they're showing you right now is likely who they are going to be. That doesn't mean that people aren't going to change. That doesn't mean that people can't change. I think that people can change to some extent. But for the most part, that's who they are. What they're showing you is probably what you're gonna get. So yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I should have had a better example than that, but
no, I get what you're saying.
I don't want people to think that I don't want people to think that I don't support a man if he's working on himself and we're always working on ourselves, right? No one is perfect. Like I just think that you should take a person for face value.
So I get what you're saying, because when you say potential, I get it, because to me, what you're saying is that regardless of what the surface looks like, as I get to know you and I take the time to know you, you may be the CEO of Exxon, but as I dig deeper, you're an extremely dysfunctional person, lack emotional maturity, and so no, that's not going to happen. So now it's like, this is where I'm at. I'm looking at all of this in its totality. You just can't come with the BS. The way you look on paper.
I'll take it a step further, and I'll take accountability and say it's not what the person is telling you, but what you believe, right? So I feel like I was telling myself, "Oh, it'll get better. Things will change. Oh, this is just a phase." And when you tell yourself those things, it's no. You have to take it for what it is right now, So
okay. Interesting. So now
the potential that things will get better.
The potential that things okay, I see what you're saying. Not the potential of the actual person.
Taking accountability for my own thinking.
Okay.
I'll stick it out. It'll get better. But it's just no.
So when did you? So that's interesting though, because I can see me doing that with somebody. Like, okay, so at the first sign of trouble, you're like, I'm out, deuces, I'm out. Or do you say, okay, you know what? let me see how this works out. Because sometimes, not with abuse though, because verbal abuse can be very interesting.
I do. I take relationships serious.
Yeah.
And if I get into a committed relationship with someone, I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
And it's a commitment.
Yeah.
And I take it serious. So I'm not a runner, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna run away the first sign
Yeah.
first sign of trouble.
And I guess that's the thing, because it's like, if something done one time, okay, let me see this. But if it's done 2 or 3 times, now this is a pattern.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
will say this though, my patience is not as
Yeah.
I don't have the same patience that I used to have.
Okay.
But that's because I see red flags and I address it right there on the spot. I just know myself a lot better and I have more experience. And so with that, you're able to have better discernment.
Yeah.
And so I shouldn't say patience. It's not patience. It's my tolerance. I have a low tolerance for certain things. I don't entertain some of the things that I used to entertain.
No, that's understandable, because even as I get older, I have laser focus on cutting through the minutia of shit and realizing, okay, yeah, this is not going to go nowhere. You know, because you're totally on some other stuff that I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, and even doing things with more intention, as we spoke. Okay, so meeting somebody, okay, is this my intention on this date is to just to have fun or get to know you, and also being intentional with the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to ask some very poignant questions.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to determine yay or nay. Because I'm there with you on that.
Yeah.
My patience. Now, I'm not going to say my patience.
Tolerance.
Yeah. I just know how to cut through the stuff and just realize, okay, yeah, this is not for me. No, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know. So you and I talked about toxic femininity. I'm putting it into ChatGPT now. So ChatGPT has a list of what toxic femininity is. Let's see if we agree with this. The first one is self-sacrifice and passivity. Always putting others' needs first at the expense of one's own health, happiness, or boundaries. And believing that being a good woman means being submissive, quiet, and never exerting oneself. Do you agree with that as being a toxic femininity trait?
Yes.
Okay. And so, why would you say that that's toxic femininity? Because that's something, I guess if it's toxic, it's like, okay, it can be toxic to yourself because you're dimming your light for somebody else to shine. Right? Or am I reading it incorrectly?
Well, read the list again.
Okay. The first example of toxic femininity is self-sacrifice and passivity, believing that being a good woman means being submissive, quiet, and never asserting oneself. And then also always putting others' needs first at the expense of one's own health, happiness, or boundaries.
Well, those are all negative things, right? Not all. The third one sounds pretty bad. But I think that what makes it toxic is the fact that it's tied to what society says a woman should be and how a woman should operate. And that's what makes it toxic, because this is the rhetoric that's put out there. And this is what young girls are taught from a young age. And this is passed down from one generation to the next. And society accepts it, and that's what makes it toxic. So you're not really being true to yourself. It's kind of like that show we were watching earlier, right? They were following a religion.
Oh, the religion, yeah.
And what their society says that they should be doing.
Yeah.
Or how they should be behaving, as opposed to being true to themselves. And that's what makes it toxic, I believe.
I see what you're saying.
Because if you're sacrificing your own happiness and your own well-being for others, that's not
Yeah,
a good thing.
yeah, because you're dimming your light, and that should never be the case. You should always feel comfortable with being who you are, where you are at all
Yeah.
times.
And the same
And
thing goes for toxic masculinity,
yeah,
right? If a man is overly aggressive or overly macho, very
mm-hmm,
machismo, right?
yeah,
Because he feels like this is how I'm supposed to
to be,
be.
yeah. This
I'm
is
not
what
going
I'm
to
told.
show
Yeah,
emotions. I'm not going to
yeah. Men
cry.
don't cry.
Men
Yeah,
don't cry
yeah,
because society says we shouldn't.
yeah,
Men don't wear pink.
yeah.
That's what
That's
makes it
yeah,
toxic,
yeah.
you
Okay,
know?
okay. So then the next one is weaponizing femininity, using guilt, emotional manipulation, or helplessness to gain control rather than direct communication, or reinforcing the idea that playing weak or using looks is the only way women can hold power.
I think that that is toxic. And the key word there is only. That's not the
Only
only
way.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. What about the emotion, using guilt, emotional manipulation as helplessness?
Manipulation. Again,
Because I see women, and I know some women that, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Can you please help me? You know, and it's, I, I see that a lot. And it's like, well, hold on. What the
I
hell?
think that I think that it's okay as long as it's not done excessively. As long as it's not excessive. Because again, you know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
I do believe that there is a part of a man that kind of
Want to feel like he's helping or
yeah, he
providing.
wants to feel like the hero sometimes. And that kind of plays into that. And I'm not saying it should be done on purpose all the time, but every
I
now
don't,
and then,
I don't,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think it should be used to
no,
manipulate.
because then it becomes, to me, when it's done that way, oh, my woman is helpless. My girl is helpless. She can't do, my girl can't. And all the while, you at the gym benching 300 pounds. You know,
But
I
helpless
mean,
in what aspect, right? Like, there's so many things.
yeah, to me, again, listening at this and having direct communication versus saying that I'm helpless because you just don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? At that
Yeah,
time, knowing that you
yeah,
can do it, you just don't want to do it
yeah,
right now
yeah.
because you know I'm going to do it for you.
Yeah, I think if it's being used to weaponize or as a tactic or excessively, yes, it becomes toxic. Toxic, or it's being used to manipulate someone. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. But again, this is often it's tied to what society says a woman, how a man or woman should behave. That's what
So
makes it
you're saying
toxic.
that? Are you saying that women do that as a response to men wanting to feel that they have to be in control or provide some sort of support for a woman?
Yes, because he wants to be the hero.
Who told you that he wants to be the hero? Where did that come from? Is there like a guidebook when y'all come out the vagina that y'all like in the baby crib with and y'all got to read like section paragraph 10 chapter 14 subsection 6? Men want you to be helpless because they want to feel needed.
Film, books, Cinderella, Snow White,
Yeah, they do.
Pocahontas. I mean,
Media. Yeah. But in this, I
media.
wonder, so have you ever asked a guy, do you feel, this is just a question to ask a guy, do you feel that, what are your thoughts on women playing helpless, that they can't do anything? Do you feel that do you feel that men want to always be there? Or how do you feel about that?
Hmm.
Because maybe we got the shit wrong,
Yeah.
you know, and some men do they have the courage to say, damn, you just can't do shit, can you?
Yeah.
You know, because if you're playing vulnerable, it's like, damn, she's gonna be in a vulnerable state. If I say this, she's gonna throw herself off the damn
Mhm.
roof.
Again, I think it becomes toxic when it's excessive. Like you're always helpless. Like that I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. But no, I haven't, to answer your question, no, I haven't had that
And then
conversation
I
with a
have
man.
heard men say, I have heard people say, "Damn, you don't even need a man. You're doing every damn thing by your damn self."
Hyper independence. I think that's toxic. Well, I don't know if that would be considered toxic
No, I don't think
femininity.
that would. To me, I think to me, I think that man lacks something because just because a woman can do things by herself doesn't mean that there's no room for you to provide your masculinity.
Right.
Let her soak up that,
Right.
and it's okay
And
that
I
she
think a
can be
lot of men
independent.
miss that part, right?
You know,
That
yeah,
there's no room for anything
yeah.
else, and that's just not
And it's
true.
like, because if I'm a woman or even just a woman, I'm like, I'm not expecting you to become Captain Save a Hole. I mean,
Yeah.
be in it with me.
Yeah, and I can relate to that because I'm not necessarily the type of woman to ask a man for things.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I don't want it. Like
Yeah.
I won't ask you to buy me flowers. That doesn't mean I don't want flowers, right? And
Mm.
so, yeah, I can pay my bills. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't mind you helping me out with
Yeah.
once in a while.
Okay.
And so yeah, I think that they kind of forget that there's still room, even when a woman is self-reliant, there is still
Okay.
room to be supportive
It is.
to her.
It is. And even when I hear women say men are intimidated by me, and I ask, well, what type of man are you talking to? Because I just don't, I don't get that. I don't, and granted, I'm gay, and so I don't, to say that a man is intimidated, what makes you intimidating to a man? And
Well, what did she say?
no, that's my question, because I haven't met a woman to say that. I've just seen it on like TV or interviews. Men are intimidated by me, and they say that they're intimidated. And then my question to that man would be why? Because it's like I don't understand that. The whole intimidation thing,
I think
a
it depends
factor.
on the man. It depends on where he is in his life, emotionally, mentally,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, financially. I think financially is a big one, especially in today's world, today's society. Because again, I do believe that a man wants to provide and wants to be seen as the hero. And if he meets a woman who feels like she has it all together and I can figure everything out on my own, well, where do I fit in here?
See, there again, I disagree with that. I don't think that men always want to be a hero. I just don't. Because
Okay.
first off, I don't know all men.
Mm-hmm.
I just know the ones that I know.
I don't think that they always
Yeah,
want to be a
and
hero.
I
I
really
think
would.
that sometimes they want to
I'm
just.
gonna ask my brother that. I'm gonna ask both of my brothers. Do you feel? How do you feel about this? And get their input. Tease, I believe Tease may say, yeah, because Tease had this thing, little house on the prairie type shit.
See, now I wish we had
A heterosexual man,
yes, yes.
yeah, yeah. So then the third one is enforcing harmful gender roles, policing other women for not fitting traditional standards, e.g., shaming them for being too assertive, too sexual, or not ladylike enough. The next one is promoting the belief that women's value is only in her beauty, youth, or ability to attract and please a man. And so that, do you see other women policing other women?
Yes.
And how do you feel about that? And have you done it?
Uh, to an extent, I found
Okay.
myself falling into the judgment trap, judging
Mm-hmm.
others, judging myself, but you have to check yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because that often stems from some
So
insecurity from
yeah, about you.
within.
Yeah. Is it the
Um,
mean girl syndrome?
Not necessarily the mean girl syndrome, but again, insecurities or um, uh, stubbornness. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
not being open minded.
Yeah.
Just truly believe that people should be allowed to live their lives
Yeah.
how they want
Authentically.
to
Yeah.
live them.
Yeah.
And if a woman wants to be assertive or she wants to be overly sexual. That's her choice.
It is.
And who am I to judge her?
Yeah.
For
And
that?
you know, it's interesting though, because I remember I was at the gym. I was in a steam room, and this guy said, there was two guys talking, and one of the guys said, they was talking about this girl, and that they both knew. And the guy said, yeah, she knew what she was wearing when she went to church. She knew what she was wearing, all that sexiness, and she did it purposely for attention. And I stopped him and I said, what makes you did she did it purposely for attention? Well, because I said, how did you know she knew what she was going to do with the clothes that she put on? Well, she knew that she was going to get there to get a man or some shit. And I said, no. I said, that's a you thing. I said, when she left the house, she may have not had on her mind, oh, I'm going to put this on to get a man. Right. I'm going to put this on to get a child. That's just what she likes to wear.
Right.
You're not being responsible for your own emotions. She didn't make you feel that way. You made yourself feel that way.
Right.
No, don't put that off on her.
Right.
You know, and it's really interesting hearing that policing other people's, the way they dress, the way they look, or any of that.
And social media makes it, takes it to another level.
They do.
Right?
They really
Because now people have this platform and they don't even have to show their faces. Right? They can hide behind these fake names and fake profiles and just judge people constantly.
Yeah, I remember I was actually, when I was in LA a couple of weeks ago, I was on this dating app. Mm-hmm. This person didn't have no profile picture or anything. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, what's up? And his response was, I don't like niggers. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay. And he said it again. I said, do you think that that's making me upset? I was like, what? And I said, do you think that's really making me upset?
Right.
And then I said, and especially, and then I just sent a second message back. I said, and especially for somebody who doesn't have a profile picture up.
Right.
You know, so no, I'm not upset. That's what go for it.
Yeah.
You know, and it is going back to what you say, people hiding behind profiles on social media. And it's like, who the hell are you?
Projecting their insecurities, projecting their bullcrap.
It is.
Onto other people.
It is. It is. And that's interesting. Mm-hmm. That right there is interesting, because it is. And even because I hear people, and I've done it to some degree, looking at and I told you, looking at other podcasts, I'm like, damn, look at them. They're doing this, they're doing that. But it's like, no, you're in your own lane. Do what you do.
Yeah.
Screw what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
You know? And I get that. And it's also going back to what you talked about earlier today, self-love. Mm-hmm. Love yourself to know your own path, your own stuff. You don't have to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
You know, that's you. So now the fourth and final one is perpetuating silence. Encouraging avoidance of conflict at all costs, even if it means tolerating injustice or abuse. Teaching daughters or younger women that their voices don't matter or shouldn't challenge society. I don't see how that's perpetuating silence. Yeah, I don't see how. To me, perpetuating silence is giving the silent treatment when shit happens.
But I could see that, because you're perpetuating it, because now you're taking this toxic mindset and passing it on to another generation, another person who's then going to adopt that mindset and likely pass it on to her daughter, right? Okay. So it's perpetuating.
Okay. But it's not, how is that under silence though, perpetuating silence?
Well, because you said something about not speaking up or not...
Okay, it says in silencing, encourage to avoid conflict, keep the peace, and not challenge authority.
Right.
To keep the peace, so I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know some men that do that too.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That's where my mind went initially. The silent treatment.
Yeah, it is. It's like,
it's universal.
Yeah, and you know,
it's toxic.
It is, and so.
Well, where's the line drawn between the silent treatment versus I just need time to process this by myself. I just need
Verbalizing
time.
it,
You're right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
because I tell people this, and I actually told someone this. They was like, "Oh, I was so upset with you," and I was like, "Why? What did I do? You did da 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 da." Okay, well, why didn't you say anything?
Right.
How am I supposed to know what I said, how it affected you?
Right.
And first off, what I say can't affect you because you're allowing it. I may have triggered something,
Yeah.
but you're giving me way too much power.
Yeah.
So why wasn't this brought up?
Right.
You know, and it's like having give it. It's sort of like, what is the word? Keeping a grudge at someone. And there's this Buddha saying that having a grudge is like holding two hot coals in your hands. The only person that's just affecting is you.
Yeah.
I
agree.
And it's like you're giving the silence treatment because of what some shit that we could have handled, but you just chose not to communicate.
Yeah, I'm very big on communication.
Oh yeah.
I need you to be direct.
Yeah.
And upfront with me, and let me know what you're thinking, and let me know what you're feeling.
Yeah. No, I'm there with you. So they have in here. They gave toxic masculinity traits, and then they said, how do they reinforce each other? Codependence. Toxic masculinity expects dominance. Toxic femininity accepts or reinforces passivity.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Policing roles. Both can shame people who don't conform. Real men don't cry. Real women don't talk back.
Right.
That is some shit.
It's
power imbalance. Yeah, power imbalance.
Real thing.
Power imbalance. Toxic masculinity maintains control, while toxic femininity sustains the system by teaching submission or indirect resistance. So, what is your definition of submission?
I think that it has to do with trust and trusting the person that you're with to make the right decisions.
So that submission could be masculine or feminine then by that trait.
Yeah, I think so.
In which we both have masculine and feminine energy.
I'm trusting you enough to follow your lead.
Yeah.
I'm trusting you enough to make decisions without me interfering. Or I'm trusting you enough to I think that it can
trust.
be both.
Okay.
I think it has to do with trust.
I get, for me, when I hear the word submissive, I don't go to that. I go to someone being subservient.
Subservient, yeah.
And it's because I hear women say, I just want to be submissive. I just want to be submissive.
Well, that is an aspect of it, right? That prefix sub means below, right? Whether it's in the word subservient or submissive, both have the prefix sub, which means below. So to some extent, you're below something, whether it be your thinking, your literal body below something, right? So yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that it's just that one has a negative connotation and one a positive, or it depends on your perspective, right? Some people see the word submissive as having a negative connotation, and some see it as a positive. So some see it as neutral.
So even when we talked about earlier today, that person's reality, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make it good, bad, or indifferent. That's your reality. That maybe that's what you've seen growing up. Even when we was watching the show today, that's the reality. They see nothing wrong with it. And so they're okay with it. And it's like, wow. And that's one of the things that I've learned too, is realizing that everything is about perspective to that individual. And one of the things that I have been trying not to do is to say, yeah, that's right, yeah, that's wrong, versus I agree or don't disagree, because I don't have the gavel to know what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
I just know I don't agree with it, or
Right.
I do disagree, or
Right.
I agree with it.
Right.
You know, so I've been trying to change my vernacular in that way.
Okay.
You know, because I don't agree with it, but I don't know it's right, or I don't know it's wrong.
Yeah.
I just know I don't
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
that, to me, I don't want to. It's just saying that just comes across as like I know it all, or I know what's right. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, so let me just chill back and just say. That's why we was talking today, and I was like, I don't agree.
Right.
You know, and I'm big on that at work. I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
You know, because I just don't. So the last question I have for you: what would the older you now tell the 20-year-old you?
Oh, now I wish I had the questions in advance. Again, I immediately went. My mind immediately went to affirmations, and I would literally just tell my younger self a long list of affirmations. And again, another thing that came to my mind immediately was take your time.
Take your time regarding what?
Everything.
Okay, you're not on a sprint.
Yeah. Everything. Just
Okay.
take your time and love yourself. Know that you are beautiful. You're intelligent. You're strong. You're worthy. You're all of these things.
Right.
And yeah, that's where my mind went. It just immediately went to affirmations. I am this.
Yeah.
I am that.
Yeah.
Or you are
Or that.
this.
Yeah.
You are that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where my mind went immediately.
Okay.
I'm sure as I ponder on this
later,
yeah,
you're like, damn,
I'm gonna have a whole list of things. Yeah. Because these are some really amazing questions.
Or what if would one of those things be you are not your environment? You can choose your own path at any given moment.
I think that's a beautiful thing to tell your younger self, but it wouldn't necessarily be what I would tell my younger self.
And why is that?
Because I never felt like I was my environment.
But you model the behavior though with
oh
choosing.
well, maybe I'm thinking about it in a different way. Yeah, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That could be a great piece of advice. That's just not where my mind
went
initially.
Yeah. Or it could be stated something. It could be stated in a different way.
But also, it's just such a powerful question, and I can't even. I feel like
so if I had
come up with a list, like there's if I could sit my younger self down, I'd
so
write a book.
What I would tell my younger self would be try not to care what other people think about you. Because I grew up being called unattractive, especially in the 9th and 10th grade, and it affected me because now I even have what is it called? Oh my gosh, is it body dysmorphia? When I look in the mirror, I don't find myself attractive.
Yes,
sometimes.
That's exactly what it is.
You know, so try not to let what other people say affect you, because that person is going through their own issues and they're just projecting.
Okay.
You know, and Young say, cool, it's okay for you to be. It's okay for you to be who you are at all times. Young say, cool. It's okay for you to continue to make mistakes. It's okay. You know, Young Seku, it's okay to seek what is the word that I just used? Seek affirmation from your father. However, there has to be, no, I wouldn't say that, because that was that thing. That was me. I didn't get it. And so I don't even know how that would have affected me. Even today, I just had to go through that learning process. Yeah. And one of the things would be, at a young age, young Sekou, lean on your family at a young age. When I was in my 20s. Mm-hmm. And I didn't. I just went to Atlanta and was like,
winging it,
ran a motherfucking muck. I was doing a damn thing. You hear me? And another thing would have been, young Sekou, learn how to make the wisest choice when it comes to friends. You know, because I had some doozies.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, so those are the things that I would definitely tell myself. And then I'll self-love. You know, about definitely self-love. Because I didn't have growing up.
There's so many things I would tell my younger self.
Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
But the self-love,
it's such a big one.
It is. And but then how do you tell? It's like, damn, could I write a letter like, self-love part 1? Okay, right. Sit down in that blue chair upstairs.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, because there's one thing of saying self-love, but how do you get self-love?
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
And that's.
And just because I'm telling my younger self that, like.
Yeah.
Will it resonate?
Yeah. And then also, even when I think about the question, is it really feasible about that? Because saying that I'm going to tell my younger self this means that my younger self is going to avoid the pitfalls. But the pitfalls is what makes us greater. And the pitfalls helps us.
Exactly.
You know. Exactly. And so it's like, I wouldn't tell my younger self anything. If anything, I say, keep doing more. You know, right. You should have went to that damn party. So, I mean, because every experience I had has helped me to become who I am now.
Yeah, I truly believe that.
You know. Yeah. So if I would have told my younger self some things, and my younger self listened to it, would I even be where I'm at?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because everything has contributed.
And I think that growth and healing and being on that healing journey, that's part of it. That's a big part of it. Accepting that everything you went through is okay, and that it created the you that you are now, and that's okay.
It is.
Like, and you have to be okay with it.
It is. You do have. Yeah. Well, you don't have to be okay.
Yeah. I take that back.
Yeah.
You don't have to be okay with it. But there should be some can I say contentment? Or do you have to be content with it?
With the way things are?
Yeah.
I mean, you can choose to be content. You can choose to be content, yeah.
I'm just wondering, is that a better word than accept? Well, that's...
Well, I don't know. Content to me sounds more close to complacent. But, however, I guess I get... Are you saying that being acceptive of your experiences in life is meaning that you accept everything that has happened to you because you realize that this is a part of life? Is having those experiences.
I think that by saying that, you're taking away the self-criticism. And it's the self-criticism that's so damaging. It's this having these thoughts that, oh, I should have did this better, or I was so stupid for making that decision, or only if I could go back and do this. That constant criticism.
It does.
Right? But when you just accept it and say, you know what, it is what it is. It happened. It may not have been great. It probably wasn't the best choice, but Look at me today. And I'm okay with the person I am right now. I'm okay with the person I am today. And if I'm not okay with the person I am today, what can I do to
Yeah.
improve?
Yeah.
So that's kind of
okay. I get
how I
what you're
see it.
saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying because that life is all about improving, and yeah, everything. I get that. I get that. I get that. Okay. Well, thank you for the
You're welcome. Thank
conversation.
you.
Almost 2 hours in. All right,
Has it
ladies.
been? Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it. And soon in my next discussion will be with someone else of my soul tribe.
Yep.
Thanks. Bye.